Hello, hello, goddesses of this virtual reality we call life. How are you today? How's it going? Today's video is really special because I've been asked this question so many times for so long, and just now I'm getting to making this video. The question is, how did I meet my husband Jesse? And what I liked about one of the viewers that asked this question, she said, please share this story because I want to know what is possible. I want to expand my mind to the possibilities. And that's exactly the way I feel about divine partnership. It's exactly the way I feel when it comes to this topic of conversation of finding your life partner. Some would think of it as a soulmate or a twin flame, but I'm gonna actually talk about all the different words and meanings that we want to give to it, because the truth is that words are just interpretations, right? They're just ways for us to make sense of things, but they're not necessarily 100% the truth. So I'm gonna share my realizations in my process, in my experience of this journey of reuniting with who I came here to meet, to have this human experience together in divine partnership. So where to begin? There's a few things I have to say before the story even begins, but this never-ending story. It's a never-ending story. Since I was a little girl, I've been having supernatural experiences. To me, they're not supernatural. To me, it's just the normal, and it is the norm for everyone once you awaken to a larger view of reality. But these experiences, seeing beyond matter and going from lucid dreaming to out-of-body experiences, and really understanding and harnessing these abilities really led me into a path of a strong relationship with my true self consciousness and with the larger consciousness, which is what we call life. So I've been developing that for, since I was a child. Whoa, something fell here. So in that journey, I receive lots of guidance, lots of messages, and I'm used to that, right? So I commune within and have developed and harnessed my inner world. Now, I remember as long as I could remember that my biggest desire or my biggest vision, let's just say vision, it wasn't so much a desire, it was an inner knowing, a calling, if you will, a pull, it pulls you towards, it's like a pulling towards reuniting with what I thought at that moment was my soulmate, because I knew that word. Be in partnership. I just wanted to be in divine union and just start that would be like starting my life. I'm gonna start my life. What I came out, what I set out to do in this script of this part of my movie experience, 3D immersive movie experience, I called life. So I thought that, oh, well, I'm here. Well, where is he? Isn't he here? And it would just show up right in front of me. Didn't happen that way. And for a really, really long time, it just was going like this, I didn't really quite yet understood what it would take for me to reunite with my life partner, with my yin to my yang, of my yin and yang. Because you are your own yin and yang, but your counterpart, if you will, your divine counterpart, the one. So one person in my life at one point told me something that really impacted me. Said, in order for you to meet or reunite with your counterpart, with your, in the divine partnership, utmost, highest, healthiest, empowered relationship, you have to come up to your highest self, right? And that really stood out to me because when we talk about soulmates, we're talking about any person that comes into your life at that moment. Your current state of consciousness is going to be your soulmate, because that person is a match to your current soul frequency, right? So that's why soulmate could be anyone, meaning it could be your mother, it could be your sister, it could be a friend, it could be, it's not necessarily a romantic connection, or, like your marriage or that kind of romantic bond, intimate, sexual. It doesn't have to be that to be a soulmate. A soulmate is a companion of your own frequency that you're there for. You have a really, really deep connection, and you're going through things together and learning together in that journey that you're on, right? Soulmate. So it's just a mate, part of your soul frequency. Okay, then we go into twin flames. Twin flames, here, that's the difference. Twin flames is more of, that is actually a romantic relationship. And a lot of people might not be ready for that, because twin flame connection is when you are ready, or you have the capabilities, because you still have to choose to go towards your ultimate self growth. You have to go through your spiritual awakening and work on yourself to bring your light, your essence, your true self out. It is more of a spiritual mission, meaning like you're on the spiritual path already, and therefore you're able to get closer into attracting magnetically your true self, not necessarily your avatar frequency, but your true self consciousness. That frequency attracts the other consciousness frequency. You have a contract together, meaning like you signed up for the game to be played together in a mission that is larger than yourselves. You come together in divine partnership because it is time for you to have that divine partnership within, and each one supports that journey, and you do it together. And then there's a bigger mission purpose. There is a larger service-driven unity for that union. Because the truth is that, we all are one, right? And we all are in a growth and evolutionary elevation, integration, journey into wholeness. And when we come together in divine partnership through the twin flame connection, you're able to jumpstart yourselves into that journey, as well as help others, as well as give that service to humanity, so you can jumpstart other, awaken more beings into the real reality of life, the illusion of reality. So that's the difference between soulmates and twin flames. And that of not being a romantic soulmates, you don't have to be, you can be. And then the twin flames is that you are, but there's also a bigger divine orchestrated mission together for the greater good. Okay, And so, but then through twin flames, and you can meet your twin flame and not be ready for this, and then, you know, kind of say goodbye, or it is a choice, an individual choice of each person to say, I'm ready to commit to my personal evolution and elevation. I'm ready to wake up, you know, and do this work. And so some people are not ready. And that's fine. That's, you know, we all have to respect each other's process, because it is an individual process. And supporting each other is the best we could do, right? Because everyone has to take responsibility for their own. So the twin flame situation, it is a perfect, a wonderful and nourishing foundation for going into divine partnership. Somebody once asked me, do you think that it is destiny, that you're destined for this or not? Were you destined to live this? Was this part of your destiny? And I believe it is part of my destiny. I believe that I did sign on with him to come and do this, so that we can, in the experience, and we could share the wisdom of what is possible. And this is where it comes back around to this question from the viewer, was what really propelled me to go into this video, even though a lot of people have asked me to, hey, tell me a story, you know. But I felt like this could really, it's about the possibilities. It's about the possibilities. Is it a possibility that it's not your destiny? It is a possibility that you're not ready. Not that it's not your destiny, but it is up to you to be ready. It is up to you to start to harness your own energy and yourself, take yourself to a certain level of consciousness to be ready for that match of consciousness, that match of relationship. You've got to have that relationship within yourself at that level in order to project, broadcast, and therefore call in magnetically, you know, this kind of frequency match, so that you can experience this kind of partnership. And this leads into divine partnership. But first, you need to have that divine partnership going on within yourself, meaning that activation, that commitment, that work, that self-work that needs to be activated within. The frequencies need to be activated within. You need to take your frequency to a certain level, so that you can, again, we'll say it again, call in, bring in the match, the frequency match, okay? Because it's really all about frequency, and that's what projection, that's what reality really is. It's a projection of your internal state, of your internal, of your consciousness, and that's what we're bringing in. It's what we're projecting out. There's no out and in, but that's another conversation. But we say that in order to understand a little bit, grasp a tiny sand of what is being said. So let's go into the story. So by that time, you know, I was really just having such a challenging time with relationships, like having the relationship that I envisioned, because I had this vision of the kind of relationship that I wanted to experience, or that I was ready for, or that I knew was possible. So working with my inner guidance, with my true self, with my source player, me, true me, I asked for clarity and guidance, which is the only thing that you ever need to ask for, is for give me light, give me the light within to see with clarity, give me clarity and give me guidance, okay? And then you have to just be very tuned in so that you could receive the messages, right? The information, the data stream can be actually flowing in in a receptive way where you could actually, it comes in. It's kind of like a phone. When you have reception, you don't have reception. When you don't have reception, you don't get the messages, right? You don't get your text messages, you don't get your emails. But when you have really good reception, you do get all the information coming in. Well, this is an information-based reality, and it's all about data. Everything. Energy is data. And it's all energy, so it's all data. And this is why this is a virtual reality. So in order to receive, right, the data stream coming in, it's all about, if you understand the whole broad bandwidth and all of that, which I will go into in another time in some of my trainings. I go into detail, it's a little more technical, but at the same time, it gives you a better picture to understand the inner workings, the mechanics of reality, of the nature of reality. So anyway, so if you need to just be so tuned in, right? Bypass the analytical mind, no self, so that you can actually receive, you have bigger reception, I mean a broader reception, so that the data, like the higher frequency data, and when I say higher frequency, it's a higher wisdom that comes in, and there's higher understanding in a natural way of sort of knowing and the data, understanding and knowing the data at the same time. It all happens at the same time. The kind of data that comes in, is it coming in? Only high frequency data is going to be data that is a lot more complex, yet pure for you to really translate it and apply it into the world. Why? Because we are used to operating at a certain level and doing things in a certain way that everybody else does. So the moment you come in with information and data that is a way different, right? Operating at a different level, if you're not super tuned into source, to consciousness, you're going to doubt yourself and question yourself, and you're going to be like, well, why am I going to do what this is some people, this is my least favorite word in the world, but people use it all the time. They call themselves crazy. Well, nobody's crazy unless you want to believe that you're crazy. But so because I was so tuned in, and the messages coming in, the data stream just flowing forth, I was able to receive a formula or a guidance in how to find my partner, my life partner, my soulmate, my twin flame, divine partner, the one. You know what I mean? So I received this data, this information, and how to find it, because I said, how do I pinpoint the location of this person? Because I knew intuitively, as a woman in her power and with developed capabilities of beyond what people call normal, it was up to me to either, I had the power to get us in a position to find, like a compass, right? To have a compass to find him. So in this formula, that this information, this data that came forth gave me a step-by-step on what to do to pinpoint the location, as like in the Matrix, like when you call, like, okay, give me a location, like that, of this being. And the amazing thing is that you gotta be so tuned in, because the universe starts to send you the same avatar, the same looking person. Now, first of all, I gotta tell you this. I had a dream, and I do a lot of work in dream time. Dream time is not rest for me, is like, oh, I'm gonna go travel and do other things. But I met him, I saw him in dream time. And I knew what he looked like. I knew the way that he dressed. I knew a lot of things from the outside, but I also knew what he felt like. So, I had it very, very clear. So when I when I started on the whole dating with the information, on the dating journey with the information, with the formula that I channeled, all these same avatars, the same bodies, dressed the same, that looked the same, kept coming in, same guys, right? But they were all different on the inside, obviously, because this is just a body, and what's the truest thing is whatever is the frequency that's animating the body. So I just kept saying no. One of the things that it said in my data stream in the formula, I said that I couldn't go on a second date if it wasn't the guy. Like, there's no chance. Like, I would not give somebody a chance. And I know that's like super hardcore, just cutthroat. But I did it. I did it to the T, okay? That's why I got results. And I don't question my data. Like, I don't question consciousness. I just do what I'm told, okay? This is the guidance, okay? So, it was hilarious because a lot of the guys, there was so much attraction, like physical attraction, and a lot of the guys had told, like one guy was like, trying to kiss me, and I was like, whoa, what are you doing? He's like, well, I know that we're attracted to each other. Why? What's the situation here? I'm like, no, but that's not enough for me. Like, I knew he wasn't the one, so I was like saying bye to the date, and I was done. I was working with higher energy centers in order to seal the deal. I wasn't just gonna give into what my lower centers are wanting to do, and because that wasn't enough for me. And in divine partnerships, it's just so much more whole, and it's so much more up here than down here with the energy centers. So, one guy was like, well, I don't understand, we're so attracted to each other. I'm like, well, that's awesome, but it's not enough for me, and that's not what I'm looking for. And honestly, I'm big on, I don't need to give reasons why I do the things I do to anybody. Like, I don't need to give you a statement of, to convince or to make you feel better or to nothing. I'm like, this is what I'm doing, and that's what I'm doing. That's it. If you want to know more, you ask me and I could tell you, but I'm not there to convince you, and I'm not there to excuse myself for why I do the things I do. I do them, and that's enough for me. And my reasons are my reasons, and they might not even satisfy you, but I'm not here for that. I'm here to do what I have to do, and that's it. And I just want to say that to all women, because I see this a lot with women. They really want to excuse themselves all the time for doing the things that they believe they need to do. And this takes your power away a little bit. You have to own your power by owning and standing and trusting and believing and being enough with, oh, this is what I'm going to do. Why? Because this is what I believe in. Enough said. Enough said. This is what I need to do. This is what I really feel like I have to do. Like, I don't have to give you a, scientific fact about why I have to do it. I'm going to do it because I intuitively feel like that I have to do it. That's it. So that's enough for me, because I am enough. So anyways, so then I, going through the whole dating, there's a whole dating method in the channeled data stream that I received, and it's called interviewing. And so that was a lot of fun and interesting insights through the whole dating journey. But anyways, so I knew what I was doing because I was just following to the T. So then one day, I have a really good friend from high school that was living in Los Angeles, and he was in a band, and we would always go, support the band and stuff like that. But he left the band, and I hadn't seen the band ever since he left it. But one of the drummers one of the drummers. The drummer from the band kept calling me like, hey, come out and see us and support us. You haven't come the last 3 times, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I'm kind of a homebody, but before now, because I was looking for my guy. But with this, I was like, wait, I don't need to do this. I don't need to do it like that. I'm different. But when he said that to me, I felt, yes, I will go tonight. And I called my friend that was the old bass player of the band, and I said, hey, I'm gonna go to this to see the band. Do you want to come with me? And he's like, sure. And I'm like, all right, I'll pick you up. By the way, I don't pick up any of my dates ever, just my friends. If I'm dating a guy or he's my boyfriend or my husband, you come pick me up. End of story. Come get the queen. Anyways, side note, just putting that out there. So I did go pick him up with my friend. And so we went, and I remember that I had won this camera. And you know, girls always go out with purses, and I just felt that day, I'm like, I'm not gonna go out with a purse. Guys don't ever go out with a purse. I don't bring a purse. I'm just gonna bring my camera. I don't even know how to work this camera, but I'm gonna bring this camera. All this was feeling like, and I felt, and I did. Anyways, when we went to see the show, long story short, I just kept like, you know, scanning the room, and I kept getting readings from all the different guys there. I was like, you know, readings that I get, information data stream that comes from that source. And I was like, yeah, no, not that guy, no, not that guy. So you see a guy and he might be really good looking and you might be attracted to him, but when you start reading the energy, the actual data that's encoded, embedded in the avatar, you're like, oh, no, I don't think so. So then all of a sudden I'm sitting there, and my friend went to the restroom, so there's an open seat, and this guy just jumps into that seat to take a photograph of the band, and I'm like, hey, that's my friend's seat. And I looked up, and it was my husband. And I'm like, oh, the first thing I thought about was, he's so cozy. He's so cozy. But to me, what does that mean? Cozy means like home. You know, when you're home and you're cozy, home. And so I was like, I just kept, you know, just seeing what came forth. And I was like, I didn't keep my eyes off of him. Like, I want to know what this guy's all about on the inside, you know? And I just kept looking at him until the entire time he just kept taking pictures. He's like, and he looked at me, he was like, no, I'm not going to take your seat. I'm just taking a picture. I'm like, all right. And he kept walking, taking pictures, and I waited till the band was done playing. And when the band was done playing, the moment was over, I went straight to him. And I tapped, and he was talking to the new bass player of the band, was his roommate and high school friend. So I tapped my husband on the shoulder, and I said, excuse me, coincidentally, check this out. I see you have the same camera that I have. I just got this camera. I don't even know how it works. Could you teach me how it works? And he said, you know, I don't know a lot about this camera either. And I said, you gotta know more than me. Come on, help me out. I'm throwing you a line here. I didn't say that, I was thinking that. And he was, and he just kind of, I think he was, he told me that he was a little bit taken that a beautiful girl, as he said, I'm just quoting him, came up to him in Los Angeles, because girls don't really do that. And he didn't know what to do with himself. And so he was just a little bit like in shock, you know. And then, but then we kind of kept talking for a little bit, and he asked me what my sign was. And I was like, I like you already. Anyways, when I looked into his eyes, I just felt like I knew him. He seemed so familiar to me that I could feel my entire being just very relaxed. And I felt so comfortable from the beginning, home, right? So we sat, he's like, you want to get some water? I'm like, yeah. And we sat and we had water until I had to go. And I just talked to him like he was my best friend. We talked and talked. And he asked me for my phone number. and I gave him my phone number, and he asked me right away. He said, you want to do something, maybe this weekend or something like that? And I'm like, sure, you're gonna give me a call, right? Anyways, he called me the next day. I love that. I love that he didn't, why wait, right? You meet your divine partner, your person for the rest of your life. Why are you gonna wait? So he called me the very next day. We talked for 4 hours. I remember we talked about everything. I told him, I was like straight up, like, I want to get married. I want to, how do we raise kids? Like, of course I didn't know all the things that I know now. It's just saying what I knew then. But anyways, we went on a date that Friday. We met on a Wednesday, talked on a Thursday, went on a date the next day on that Friday. But the thing was that, no, was it that Friday? That Friday, I was in, it was my sister's birthday, and she'll never let me forget that. And we were out in Santa Barbara for her birthday in a place in Santa Barbara, friend's house. And I remember I told her, I have to go. Basically, the Matt Damon, I have to go see about a guy. So, of course, she was kind of bummed and upset, but I just felt that strong about it. And I went to meet up with him at a cafe to chat, and we've been together ever since. The longest we've been apart from each other, maybe 3 days at the longest. We've been together for 16 years in this life. And we dated for 2, we're engaged for 1. And that was my plan, by the way. I wanted to date for 2 years, be engaged for 1, and then get married. Check, done that. We're having such a great time as best friends, honestly, that we didn't know, like, oh, we should have kids. Or I mean, I think how many years went by? 10 years before we even started, like, okay, we gotta have kids. We have to have kids. But that goes to show you that, we were really, really great friends, because friends, you enjoy each other's company. You choose your friends. Why? Because you're compatible with them, because you like hanging out with them, because you have fun with them, because of so many, many reasons that are non-sexual, right? And so when a relationship, you have that, plus the physical chemistry, I mean, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. That's where you can have a really great foundation. But specifically when you are in alignment with your energy centers, with your partner, as I felt with Jesse, right away when we started dating, we started working together. We started a band together, a project, just him and I. There's so many complementary things about each other, that we complement each other. We have so much compatibility, but within that compatibility, there's a lot of complementary. There's a lot of complement to it, a lot of yin yangs. Within music, I'm a singer, and I write songs too, but I don't like writing songs so much. I'd rather write the lyrics. He was a musician, and he plays every instrument, produces music. That's not what he does for a living today, but back then that's what he wanted to do. And so we did it together. We started right away. I'm like, hey, let's record a EP. He's like, all right. But through that, we noticed how well we work together and how much fun we have working together on a project. And guess what? Our life together is our project. It's our biggest project. Our family is our biggest project. And because we know that we love doing projects together and we do them so well and so complementary, we're able to do that on so many different scales: our home, our family, and then supporting each other's own universes, right? Own developments, own projects. And yeah, and that's pretty much kind of how it went. I'm sure there's many more details about it, but and I'm gonna definitely do more videos about relationships and divine partnership and you know, soulmates, twin flames, and dating in that kind of in a different way, and really bringing more awareness into empowered relationships, divine partnership, you know, marriages that are actually bubbles of harmonious light that are adding to the frequency of this reality we call life to take it to the next level, right? Because we all want to be in the next level, but we have to be the next level in order to experience the next level, because everything, again, is a projection of our internal state. So if we could do that as a unit, as a family unit, how powerful is that? How powerful is that? And I'm not saying everybody has to do that, but I do feel that there wasn't enough information before in order to see the possibilities of doing that. The possibilities of doing that. There are so many possibilities within that possibility to take ourselves and our human experience to the next level. Everybody came here for something different, to learn and grow through different experiences. But within those experiences, if you feel the calling and resonate with this, with what the information I'm telling you, with what I'm saying, with this kind of story, then maybe it is for you, you know? So when we talk about destiny is really something that your consciousness will tell you and will guide you into it. And all you have to do is tune into consciousness, your true self. Bypass the analytical mind. Do not let the mind govern you and get stuck into that world and analyze everything. I used to be there, okay? Analyze. And the thing is that you stay in there. That's the limit of your playground. But if you want to play this game at a larger scale with a lot more power and magic, you have to bypass the analytical mind, go straight to source, okay? And operate out of consciousness, your true self. Awake in the dream. Awake in this dream, this illusion of reality we call life. And that is the biggest key into divine partnership and into anything that you want to quote unquote manifest, which I call shaping reality. Shaping reality. All right, I mean, I think that's our story. I think that's the story. There's so many amazing stories about the story, but so disclaimer though, I have to tell you, even though we are in divine partnership, that doesn't mean that we don't have disagreements. That doesn't mean that we don't experience sometimes obstacles, challenges in our relationship. Of course we do, we're human. We're two different universes coming together. But here's the thing, we both want to be here and want to work. You know, when I first started dating Jesse, 2 weeks after, I wanted to break up with him, you know? A couple of reasons I won't get into, but I remember that he said to me, he said, "You don't know me." He's like, "I'm here to work with you. I'm here to work with you. Give me a chance." And that was a big thing for me. That was big for me. I'm here to work with you. I'm here to work with, having the awareness that you are here, first of all, to work on yourself. And then to know that you're here to work with your partner, that relationships are work. But coming together with twin flames, with, you know, these energy centers in alignment with your partner, you're going to have a fun work. So there's work, right? But in this kind of frequency relationship match, it's going to be the kind of work that you love, right? And also the kind of work where you're supported in your work, into the challenges, into the obstacles. You want to be there. Both people want to be there, and they want to be there to work on themselves and work together as one. That is divine partnership, a part of divine partnership. When he said that to me, I was like, all right, game on, game on. Because this is a game, y'all. This is a game. So choose your player, your companion players wisely. Because, you know, you have set contracts with certain people for different reasons. Always, you're still there to choose. Which adventure do you choose? Which adventure do you choose? Which video game do you choose to play? Do you want to play Mario Brothers? Do you want to play, what is it, Minecraft? I've never played that game in my life, but I hear about it all the time, especially in the whole virtual reality space. Do you want to play Tetris? My personal favorite, Bejeweled. It's the only one I play, really. It's up to you, you know? It's up to you. The consciousness is the one that's going to move the chessboard, right? Unless you are on automatic pilot and you're gonna let your mind operate your reality. And that's gonna be all based on programming that is irrational, programming that could be outdated, programming that is limiting and limited. So it's up to you. Are you gonna own your power, take it back, tuning into source, and run your life from there? Experience this game, this training program from that frequency, that state of consciousness, or are you just gonna let the programs run your life? That is the question. That is the question. So anyways, if you have any questions, please, you're free to send me an email at info@sylviesdelis.com, or leave me a comment down below, whether you're seeing this on Instagram or on YouTube, mainly YouTube, but if you want to DM me on Instagram, you're more than welcome to, because I'm there all the time as well, my Insta stories, and I read all the messages. So, and if this video or any of the videos that I put out you think might help somebody else, please share it. Just click the sharing button, and be sure that to also click the little bell for the subscribed, so that you know when my videos are coming on, that I just uploaded a video, okay? I'm putting out videos every Wednesday, it seems, so once a week. And also stay tuned, because course creation has begun for me, and I'm gonna be putting out some really amazing courses coming this year. So stay tuned, sign up to my email list so that you can keep updated with that. You can go to my website at sylviesdelis.com, and you can sign up into my emails free. And on top of that, you get this awesome training audio on how to shape reality like a goddess. So stay tuned. Within, always. And always, always, so much love and light. Only love.